life. I just mentioned that the surah, do you remember the surah just mentioned last week? Ahsant. Recite salawat for her health. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajah. In Surah Ahzab, we have an important verse related to salawat. And also, we have just mentioned that the salawat has a condition. وَسَلَّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. It means that it is necessary for us to be the follower of the Prophet. Could you tell me the most important message of the Prophet in order to be his follower? في الغربة. Yeah. إلا المودة في الغربة. It means that it is necessary for us to not to forget the household of the Prophet. That's why we are just mentioning Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal. The household of the Prophet is one of the conditions that is mentioned in this important verse. An important point I want to add to the last week's speech, because there were some questions, is that pay so careful attention to this important word إنما in this verse. إنما يريد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. إنما here plays an important role. إنما means the only and the only way to become purified is from the household and the Prophet. If somebody wants to, because I heard some objection about my speech, that you're just mentioning that it is impossible for us to be purified without the way of Ahlul Bayt. Yes, I highly emphasize this point, that it is impossible for us to be purified except following the Ahlul Bayt. It is impossible for us. There is only one way to be purified. And if you ask me this question, that how is it possible for us to understand it, could you tell me the resource of this answer? I just mentioned the place of innama in this important verse. Innama yuridullah. It means that the God only wants to be purified by Ahlul Bayt. That's enough. Full stop. This is the simple and an important message of Quran. Okay? So I hope that you just remember all the things that I told you last week. And I don't want to ask you individually an important question. How many salawat did you recite from the last week till now? Do not answer me, but please answer to yourself. If you're just mentioning 1 time, 2 times, or 100 times, I think that it's not enough. Wow. So it's a good answer. You just mention as much as possible, right? So impossible for you to count. It's a good message for all people. We should do as much as we can. As much as we can. We should believe the role of salawat in our life. The second important verse and dhikr in our life is blah, blah, blah. I want to fill the blank at the end of my speech, okay? Be curious and be, I don't know, I can't say to you that. Pay so careful attention to this important. A person came to Amirul Mu'mineen and said to Amirul Mu'mineen that, oh, Amirul Mu'mineen, I'm a poor man. Could you help me to be rich, to be wealthy, to have enough money? The second person came to Amir al-Mu'minin and said to Amir al-Mu'minin that, oh, Amir al-Mu'minin, I'm a wealthy, I'm a rich person, but I do not have any children. Could you pray for me to have children? Amir al-Mu'minin, instead of praying for him, say something. Okay. The third person came to Amir al-Mu'minin and said to Amir al-Mu'minin, oh, Amir al-Mu'minin, I have a good garden, but I do not have enough fruit there. It's not fruitful. I tried a lot, but I don't satisfy with the outcome of that effort. The fourth person came to Amir al-Mu'minin and said that we are just living in a place that there is no rain there. What do you think that the answer would be? What did Amir al-Mu'minin answer to these four important questions? I give you a chance to think about that. There are some possible alternatives. The first one is that Amir al-Mu'minin say one thing to all of them. The second possible answer is that Amir al-Mu'minin said to them that, okay, I will pray for you. Be careful that Amir al-Mu'minin is Amir al-Mu'minin. He's just worried about their followers. Amir al-Mu'minin and the household are worried about their followers. Amir al-Mu'minin is completely conscious about those important problems that they have. Do not want to say something in vain. Just mention some important point which directly solve the problems. Be careful about that. This is the second alternative. The third alternative of possible answer is that Amir al-Mu'minin try to write some important prescriptions for them. And the fourth alternative is that Amir al-Mu'minin say one thing to all of them. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you expect from Amir al-Mu'minin? Be careful about the position of Amir al-Mu'minin in the world. The position of Amir al-Mu'minin in the world is that he is the more knowledgeable person, the most knowledgeable person all over the world in that time. Short and sweet answer, yeah. And one answer to all these problems? Yeah. What's the answer of these all problems? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. But the salawat is not the answer here. And I want to explain why we need another important zikr beside the salawat as well. And I want to explain what can be the answer and why this answer is acceptable. La ilaha illallah is also important for us, but is not the answer of this question. And I want to explain why this important zikr is necessary for us to do it. Every time, everywhere, beside the salawat. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-ali al-azim. It is also an important, and it's a slogan of the Shiism. Be careful about La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-ali al-azim. It's a slogan of the Shiism. It contains the Tawheed Af'ali wa Sifati wa Zati. I don't want to explain it right now. Please give me the answer. Tabarri. We are just mentioning that we are not the friend of those who are just not following the Ahlul Bayt. It's a kind of tabarri. It is also acceptable, but it is not the answer of that question, right? It is also acceptable in somehow, yes. Taqwa. Taqwa is also an important, but, oh my friend, imagine a situation that the person is right now needs something. If I just say to you, you should become muttaqi, he just thinking that how is it possible for me to become muttaqi right now? Huh? Tawakkul. Tawakkul is okay, but it's not the answer of this important question. I want to start the answer of this question from reciting those important verses presented by Amirul Mu'minin at the end of this important hadith. Because there was an objection and an important question arises there that a person said to Amirul Mu'minin, "Oh, Amirul Mu'minin, I heard that 4 important problems have been mentioned to you and you're just presenting only one prescription?" Amirul Mu'minin said to him that, "Do you familiar with Quran? Do you know the verses of Quran?" And Amirul Mu'minin recite these 4 important verses of Quran, and I want to recite it because inshallah we are the follower of Amirul Mu'minin, inshallah all, and we know that it just mentioned in the Quran. Irham turham. It is also acceptable. It is a very good slogan, but it's not the answer of this question. Again? Wow. Recite salawat for her. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Yes. Istighfar. Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil faraj. Present the verse number 10, 11, and 12 of Surah Nuh. If you want to read it, page 570. 570. 570. Surah, the number of Surah is 71. Yeah. Surah 71, page 570, the verse number 10. Are you ready to recite it together? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا. It's just reciting the story of our prophet Nuh, peace be upon him. He said that I told my followers to recite Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfiru Rabbakum innahu kana ghaffara. He will forgive all of your sins that you did. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا. If you are just doing the istighfar, God will send to you a good rain. So it can be accepted as one of the possible answer of that question mentioned that I need some rain. I'm just living in some bad weather and I do not have any rain for my garden or my trees. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ. If you do not have enough money, Allah will provide you a good situation to have enough money as much as you want with istighfar. وَيُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ. It mentions that God gives you a power or situations to have enough money as you want. Amwal. خدا با مالهای زیاد شما رو مدد میکنه، یاری میکنه. Encourage you, help you. یمددکم, I think that one of the good translation of یمددکم it's a kind of helping. مدد, رساندن. We have the same word in Persian. و بنین, those who want to have a good children, to have good children, let's do istighfar. And inshallah I will explain why the istighfar plays this important role in our life. What it happened with just reciting the istighfar. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ جَنَّاتٍ وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا. If you want to have a good garden, you want to have enough trees, to have a good fruit, do istighfar. The answer of these important questions mentioned at the beginning of my speech was that Amir al-Mu'minin told him, why you're just not doing istighfar? The intonation of this answer is that I'm just, surprising that you have this important element in your life and you do not use it. The istighfar is important. Have you ever heard these important verses from Quran? If yes, why you just neglect this important fact in your life? What's the role of istighfar in our life? I want to answer to this important question from two different viewpoints. The first one is again based on an important hadith from our Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. And Amirul Mu'mineen. And the second point is related to scientific researches. Okay? It just mentioned that if you are just doing istighfar, four important elements will be occurring in your life. This hadith is from our Prophet. جعل الله لكل هم وغم فرجا. Sometimes we're just feeling that we are not good. We are sad. We are just worried about our future. I cannot be relaxed. I want to be calmed down, but I cannot. What's the reason? From a religious point of view, every feeling that we have is the effect of some important causes. هر احساسی که ما در زندگی داریم یه عاملی این احساس رو ایجاد کرده. اگه حس خوبی الان داریم نشون میده یه کارهای خوبی کردیم. اگه گاهی اوقات همش احساس ناراحتی میکنیم، نگرانیم، یه کارهای بدی کردیم. این نگرانی ما معلول یه علتهاییه. What is the solution? How is it possible for us to expunge? Do you know the word of expunge? Expunge means cleaning completely. Removing something completely. How is it possible for us to clean those important causes in order to be getting rid of these important feelings? چگونه ممکنه که ما از این احساسهای سخت و تلخ خلاص بشیم؟ With going to psychologists and taking a tablet? If you prefer, you can do it. But I myself do not prefer it. Let's remember that a psychologist told one of my friends that you should do at least 20 tablets in a day in order to feel that you are relaxed. And he told my friend that I'm just doing right now 20 tablets in a day. I do not prefer to do it. I do not prefer to do these kind of prescriptions. Because I believe in spiritual power. Doing istighfar, cleaning those important causes. استغفار کردن اون عوامل اصلی و جلوشو میگیره و پاک میکنه. Do you remember that the beginning of this دعای کمیل اللهم اغفر لی الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء اللهم اغفر لی الذنوب. It's a kind of doing istighfar at the beginning of this دعای کمیل. جعل الله لكل هم و غم فرجا. Sometimes that you're feeling that you are sad and you cannot sleep. Do istighfar. I promise to you that in the middle of your istighfar, you will experience the calming down and you will go sleep. من كل ضيق مخرجا. Sometimes you are just feel that every doors of the world will close in front of us. And I do not know any solution of my problems. I just mentioned that if you are just facing this important situation in your life, please do istighfar. Say astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. I just mentioned that God will help you and will open a specific door for you. For you. This is the second advantage of istighfar. من كل ضيق مخرجا. از هر سختی خدا نجاتت میده با استغفار. بعضی اوقات انسان میگه من نمیدونم چیکار کنم. یه بزرگی در همین چند وقت پیش آمد پیش من، استاد دانشگاهی بود. به من میگفت به چه کنم افتادم آخر عمری، نمیدونم چی کار کنم. A professor at university told me that right now I do not know what should I do. I see to my children, I see my academic journey, my wealth. They don't satisfy with me. I don't satisfy with them. What should we say to them and to him and to all similar cases? We should do istighfar. The third advantage of istighfar, من كل خوف أمنا. Sometimes that it is possible for us to be fear of something. I start a business. I don't know about the future of this business. I want to travel in a very hard situation and I don't know the outcome of that trip. I'm fearing right now. Sometimes it's possible for us to feel this important emotion. گاهی اوقات ما میترسیم. What should we do in those important cases? We should do istighfar. وَرَزَقَهُ اللَّهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. This is the final advantage of doing istighfar. You will receive money, rizq, from the way that you do not know. How it is enjoyable for me to think about those important situations that I'm just waiting for important rizq from the way that I do not know. We all know that we should go to business or start business, to go to work, to have some schedule for our business to earn, to gain some important money, right? But this is the way that we know. By doing istighfar, Allah gives us the power to believe on those ways which cannot be seen. But it is important for us to know exactly about believing the ghaib or not, spiritual life or not. Sometimes if we are just forgetting istighfar, at the end of forgetting istighfar, the outcome will be something like that. We do not believe in any spiritual powers. And كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ, it just mentioned in Quran that those who just not doing and following our rules, they will insist that there is nothing except material life. A final important advantage of the istighfar is the most important point that I want to highlight in this speech. And I want you to pay so careful attention to this important hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen. That is just mentioned that تَغَتَّرُوا بِالْإِسْتِغْفَارِ لا يفضحكم ریح الذنوب. استغفار کنید تا بوی تعفن گناه شما رو رسوا نکنه. تغتروا بالاستغفار. How many perfumes do we have? Many. But do you agree with me that these kind of perfumes are just able to use for the material life? Do you know any perfume which is adaptable and good for our soul? No. Except istighfar. And I want to highlight this important point, and it needs a little bit explanation about how is it possible for us to use the istighfar as a perfume of our life. My brothers and sisters, from the Quran Karim and also from some riwayats of the Prophet, every actions that we are just doing producing some smell. إِنِّي لَأَجِدُ الرِّيحَ Yusuf. Do you remember those important verses presented in the Surah Yusuf related to the Prophet Yusuf? The Prophet Yusuf was in Egypt, and the Yaqub was in Canaan. There were a big far distance between them. Said that I smell a good smell. And also, do you remember the story of Uwais Qarani? Uwais Qarani was a good follower of the Prophet. He went to Medina to meet the Prophet, and decided to his mother to come back before the sunset. And the Prophet wasn't in Medina. Because of keeping the promise for his mother, he went again to the place that he was. Immediately after the Prophet came, the Prophet smelled and asked the followers or those who were there, who was there? Who was here? I smell the smell of heaven. إني أشم رائحة من الجنة. من دارم بویی از بهشت احساس میکنم. What happened to him? And also, if you are just doing some bad actions, العیاذ بالله، پناه بر خدا نکنه آدم یه اعمال بدی انجام بده. It produces bad smell from us. It just mentioned in this important hadith that it is in Nahj al-Balagha, ta'attaru bil istighfar. Use the perfume of istighfar. A possible objection can be raised here. How is it possible for us to understand that this kind of thinking is not, unfortunately I want to use this word, rubbish? من کجا بفهمم اینا خرافات نیست؟ That every action produces some smell. The answer is that it's related to your belief that if you believe in spirituality or life or not. Do you think that the material life is the only life that we have? We cannot say that, because we cannot say that the only fact and the only reality of the world are those reality which can be touched, which can be seen, which can be heard. Because I do not see the electricity. Is it possible for me to believe that there is no electricity here? No. If we believe in Quran, we should believe in these important facts and foundations of Quran as well. Have you ever heard the important verses of this beginning of Surah Baqarah? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. If you want to know the muttaqin, you should know that if this person believe in spirituality or not. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. If we do not believe in spirituality, it means that we are not muttaqi. Because we shouldn't limit the life into a material life. If not, so the door open to new horizons. اگر ما بپذیریم که زندگیمون در زندگی مادی محدود نیست، اون وقت میتونیم باور کنیم که اعمال ما دارای رائحه و بوه. I know some important scholar right now. If you close their eyes, some important scholars, I don't want to mention the name, but I know that they are in Maraja Taqrid right now. They just mentioned in some important sessions that we had. If you close my eyes, I can say to you that this person who just entering is a good man or a bad man. We're just asking, how is it possible for you to do that? So I have this smell. I can smell. I know the smell of good works. I know the smell of reciting Quran. I know the smell of salawat. I know the smell of istighfar. And sometimes those who are just gathering haram action in their books, wow, what happened for them? The solution is that تعطروا بالاستغفار. خودتون رو با استغفار معطر کنید. It's an important hadith and recommendation from أمير المؤمنين. لا تفتحكم الذنوب ريحا أو لا تفتضحكم ريح الذنوب. Sometimes we're just worrying about those important situations that the people are just knowing about bad actions. And imagine the day that we are just standing in front of the Ahlul Bayt. And Ahlul Bayt knows. I mean, the Ahlul Bayt as a group knows everything related to our book. How is it possible for us to clean those important bad smells, bad causes, which has some bad effects in our life? Feeling sad. The answer just mentioned, doing istighfar. So this is the knowledge of istighfar that you inshallah have right now. I present verses from three important verses from Surah An-Nuh, the second a verse from the Prophet, and the hadith from Amirul Mu'minin. You know the knowledge of the istighfar right now. The thing that you know right now, you should know, is about the times, how many times shall we do istighfar, at least in a day. How many times shall we do? There are two important answers from the riwayat. The first one presented from Imam Kazim alayhi salam, it has been mentioned that 100 times of istighfar is needed for everybody who wants to follow these important verses of Quran and the riwayat. And the second answer has been mentioned at least 70 times. شما دانش استغفار رو یاد گرفتید که ما برای این که به واسطه اعمال بدی که انجام دادیم مفتضح نشیم، مشکلی پیدا نکنیم، ثروتمون رو از دست ندیم، کارمون رو از دست ندیم، فرزند خوب داشته باشیم، نگران آیندهمون نباشیم، نیاز به استغفار داریم طبق فرمایش امیرالمومنین. خب دانشش رو به دست آوردید. سوال بعدی اینه من چند بار استغفار باید بکنم؟ 70 یا 100 بار حداقل. خدا رحمت کنه آقای بهجتو، ایشون میگفت مشکلی دارید استغفار کنید، جواب نگرفتید من جوابشون میدم. The scholar Ayatollah Bahjat said that if you have some important problems in your life, do istighfar. Because just mentioned in this important hadith that with istighfar everything will be cleaned. Everything will be cleaned. Everything will be cleaned. And we need to clean our deadly sins before the time that will be cleaned by suffering from something. I think that is a good trait to make a decision right now to say to God that we all know that we just did bad actions. And we know, right now we know that the istighfar is the solution of those important causes. I promise to you to do at least 70 times istighfar in a day. Please help me to have good children, to have good money, to have good friend. I think that is a good trait. I think that God will accept it. It just mentioned that in some important verse, this is the last verse that I want to present it tonight. A person came to Imam Baqir alayhi salam and said to Imam Baqir alayhi salam that I do not enjoy doing wrong actions, but unfortunately I cannot do. I cannot prevent myself from doing bad actions. Do you think that God will forgive me? The Imam Baqir alayhi salam said, for sure he will do. So inshallah, again, with the relying on these important resources, I can promise to you that if we make a decision tonight to do istighfar and salawat in the rest of our life, inshallah, our problems will be solved as soon as possible, inshallah. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I wish you all the best, inshallah. God bless you all and your family. And inshallah, we will be happy to have you here one more time at least. Please recite another salawat for Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Oh. Is there any question? Sorry. من اول فارسیشو بگم بعد عربیشو میگم. سلام علیکم، خوش آمدید. عرض کنم خدمت شریف شما که بزرگی خدمت یکی از بزرگان دین ما رسیدند. حالا اسم اون دو بزرگوار اینجا هست، من عرض نمی کنم یا میتونیم حتی بگیم. آقا خوئینی رسیدن خدمت آقای حسن علی نخودکی و بهشون گفتن که من میخوام علم کیمیا رو از شما یاد بگیرم. علم کیمیا علمی است که alchemist, you know the meaning of alchemist، که میتونید همه اشیا به طلا تبدیل کنید. خب حالا یه گفتگوهایی رد شد بین این دو بزرگوار و بعد آقای نخودکی نگفتن من علم کیمیا ندارم، نشون میده علم کیمیا داشته، ولی گفته من به شما دستوری میدم که از علم کیمیا بهتره. این دستور رو به این جهت دارم امشب عرض میکنم چون مرتبط با آیاتی که ما خوندیم و روایاتی که ما خوندیم هست. ببینید ما تو این بخش از روایات خوندیم و رزقه الله من حیث لا یحتسب. باید باور داشته باشیم که دست خدا برای رسوندن روزی به ما بسته نیست. خدا میدونه روزشو از کجاها برای ما بفرسته. و اون دستوری که این بزرگوار دادن طبق یکی از بزرگوارانی که در این جلسه هستند، ایشون شخصا خودشون در زندگی اینو تجربه کردن و به ما هدیه دادند. من هم این رو به شما هدیه میدم، خودم هم انشالله عمل میکنم و عمل کردم بهش. انشالله همه ما عمل کنیم، چیزی که مشکلات ما رو حل میکنه. درباره مرحوم آقای حسن علی نخودکی این نکته مهم رو من خدمتون عرض کنم که ایشون خدمت حضرت ولی عصر ارواحنا فدا رسیده بودند. آدم بسیار بزرگی اند و خیلی مقامات کشف و مکاشفات از ایشون نقله. یک کتابی هست 2 جلده به نام نشان از بی نشانها، توسط پسرشون نوشته شده و خط پسر ایشون رو هم شما در این 2 برگه میبینید. من این برگه رو خدمت یکی از بزرگواران به امانت میدم و انشالله کپی بگیرید. هر کسی از دوستان حالا یا میتونید عکس بگیرید از روش. به این باید عمل کنیم. خلاصه ماجرا اینه، بعد از نماز ما یه آیه اول آیت الکرسی رو بخونیم. نه تو سجده نیست. نه خیر، ترتیبش اینه: بلا فاصله بعد از نماز آیه اول آیت الکرسی. تا اینجا که ساده است، درسته؟ بعد تسبیحات حضرت زهرا سلام الله علیها، درست؟ سومین عمل چیه؟ 3 تا قل هو الله، 4می 3 تا صلوات و 5می بله آیه 3 و 4 سوره مبارکه طلاق. هر آنچه شما خدمتون عرض کردم در این برگه هست. اینو به این جهت گفتم که هم به نحوی سپاسگزاری کنیم از اون بزرگواری که اینو برده. من نمیدونم راضی هستن اسمشون رو بگم یا نگم، ای کاش اجازه شو قبل از منبر گرفته بودم. خدا انشالله به ایشون خیر بده و برکت و سلامتی و انشالله به همه مؤمنین و مؤمنات انشالله. و این رو ایشون به ما هدیه کردن، منم خدمت شما هدیه میکنم، ولی به من یکی از این برگ‌ها رو برگردونید. حالا من میتونید عکس بندازید. نکته بسیار مهمی که در پایان عرایزم بگم، دوستان بزرگوار من، فرق بین کسانی که معتقد به دین هستند و کسانی که معتقد به دین نیستند در اعتماد به غیبه. The difference between those who are just believers and not believers is relying on spiritual life, extraterrestrial life. Those things which cannot be seen as a material. اگر این بخش از زندگی حذف بشه، به عنوان کسی که مستقیما با کتاب‌های روانشناسی در ارتباطم، این بخش از زندگی حذف بشه، سیلی از مشکلات به انسان هجوم میاره. اون وقت مجبوریم بریم خیلی چیزای دیگه بخریم، پولمون رو خرج خیلی چیزای دیگه بکنیم. که گفتم اون دوست من میگفت روزانه من باید 20 تا قرص بخورم که اگه بخواد همش رو تو دهانش بذاره نمیتونه همه رو قورت بده. این واژه‌ای بود که خودش میگفت. من به دکتر گفتم این همه من قرص بخورم من میمیرم روزانه. الذین یؤمنون بالغیب. Spirituality is important. I just mentioned, I think that 2 or 3 years ago at Michigan State University in United States, that the Islamic spirituality plays an important role in our life. And we just did it. We just did the examination. معنویت مهمه. اعتقاد به غیب مهمه و به انسان آرامش میده. و کسانی که به این نسخه ها دست پیدا کردن شبانه روز زحمت کشیدن، خون دلها خوردن، اینو به عنوان یک نسخه به ما دادن. و مهمتر از همه اینا اینه که تجربه شده این نسخه و کسی که تجربه کرده همین الان تو مجلس ما حاضر. خب پس به اعتقاد ما برمیگرده. این رو هم انشالله به عنوان یک هدیه از طرف ایشون ما خدمت شما تقدیم میکنیم برای همه مؤمنین و مؤمنات در سراسر عالم و رفع همه مشکلات. یه صلوات عنایت بفرمایید.